Hi, this is Rob O'Byrne from Supply Chain Leaders Academy, and I'm with Paul Blackburn from Beyond Success. Paul, it's
Hi.
good to be with you again.
Yeah.
Paul ran the first session at our Supply Chain Leaders Academy this morning, and if you don't know Paul, he's a bit of a guru on helping people with mindset challenges, and you described it really well to me this morning, which was, have you ever been on a sports team or learning at university where everyone else is getting the same opportunity, but some people tend to shine? Why do some excel while others are kind of sort of the also-rans? And that's kind of what you do with individuals and with corporate groups. So, the session this morning was great, but I guess if there was something that we could share with the people watching this video, you do a lot of work with corporate teams and so on. What would you say are the top 3 mindset challenges that corporate managers tend to face?
Top 3. Well, I'll think about 2 and 3 in a minute. Number 1, by any shadow of a doubt, is the inability to realise that the skill set that got us to where we are is not the skill set that's going to move us to the next level. Okay. So that's where we get this expression, the Peter Principle. We promote people to the point of their incompetence, but they're only incompetent because they're thinking that if I keep doing what I've always done, I'll keep getting what I've always got, which is promotions.
Yes.
And so, to build a business to $1 million a year it doesn't involve it. None of those skills are necessary to take it to 10 million a year. And of course, if you get it to 10 million and want to get it to 100, then it involves a radical rethink of the way you operate, what you do, how you do it, why you do it, when you do it, with whom you do it, everything.
Okay. So in the session this morning, you've been here a couple of times, which is great, but we were talking about personality types and understanding our personality and the personality of those around us. Is that a common issue that you see with corporates? They don't really know how to interact best with the team around them?
What they don't know how to do is how to read what the team needs. So, as an individual, you can know yourself quite well, but that doesn't mean that you've been able to assess the different languages that all the members of your team speak, and therefore how you could best put your communication to them. So, when you recognise that you've got somebody in your team who's a rip, tear and bust kind of person, you really just got to cut to the chase. Giving them a long, convoluted story about the reasons why and how and what the benefits of the corporation are basically wasted breath. And what happens is that when you're talking to someone who needs a short version, using a long version, they switch off.
Yeah.
But they don't necessarily give the signals that they've switched off. So it looks like they've heard it.
Yeah.
It looks like they've understood it, but they were actually thinking about what they're going to cook for dinner, and sometimes they're wondering when on earth you're going to stop talking. And so there are 4 of those kind of languages. So,
That was interesting. And you were telling the group this morning how, you started out in this area of working with sports teams. Do you see a lot of difference between people managing teams in business and people managing sports teams and trying to get the best performance out of people?
Yes, but there shouldn't be.
No.
So,
because that surprised me when you said yes, because I'm thinking it's the same, isn't it? We've got
it's
teams
exactly the
and
same.
we want to get the same performance.
I find myself saying to people, if you can run a family, you can run a business. If you can run a business, you can run a sporting team.
Yeah.
But what we think they're different. So what happens is that in the sporting arena, you get somebody who comes in with a tremendous amount of clout. They've got a gold medal in something years and years ago, and they come in and the jackboots process works. Okay, you're all doing this. Get on the field, run up and down, and don't stop until I tell you. That's not necessarily going to work with a 14-year-old that you're trying to convince that they ought to do their homework or that they should get off the screen and pay attention at dinner time.
Okay.
So people with a track record tend to overuse it.
Okay.
So people without a track record tend to come in and want to earn it, and therefore are naturally more cooperative and able to see the places where they can be of use and lend a helping hand and work their way
you see
up.
that a lot with new team members, don't you? Okay.
Yes.
So I'm going to ask you a curly one here.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say something while you're thinking about the answer. So for those people watching the video, working in corporates, at whatever level in management, what is the one thing that you would say to them about, getting the right mindset and overcoming challenges? And while you think of the answer, I'm just going to share the fact that Paul was very generous this morning with our group at Supply Chain Leaders, and he's actually sort of gifted them some materials to help them work with your mentoring programs and coaching programs and so on, which is tremendous. We'll put a link below because you may want to actually have a look at some of those programs yourself. But coming back to that, coming back to that question, what would be the one thing that you would say to people about overcoming challenges and mindset issues?
I think that we spend too much time, culturally we're taught, be a problem solver. Figure out what's going wrong and how to stop that. But it's rear vision. So what I see is the people who really make it are the people who can handle adversity by saying, what do we do now? What's the best course of action? Let's look forward.
Okay.
The discussion about how this came about, pretty much a waste of time.
Yeah.
The focus on what do I need to do next? I think the other thing that goes equal number one is we say what, meaning strategy, meaning mechanics. Very rarely do we say who, meaning who's been there before, who has the experience, who has the knowledge, who could actually show me the shortcut method, the process that's worked. So we're very underdone on the who question, and therefore we're not big with mentors and those kind of things. We're hugely overdone on the how.
Okay.
And then we go and try and sell our new thing. I've got a way of fixing the problem for the corporation. Here's how it's going to work. Well, everybody's got an opinion about how it's going to work. So we don't go with, I've brought this situation, I'm this solution, I'm the sponsor, and I've consulted widely with other experts in the field, and we are going to stand on the shoulders of giants and move our way forward based on best practice. So, I do a lot with the farming community because, there are many 50-year-old farmers out there who are fourth generation. It's always been done a certain way. What's revolutionising farming in Australia at the moment is benchmarking. So they're looking around and going, who's the best cattle fattener, who's the best cattle breeder, who's the best this, that, or the other. They're benchmarking the process, and we'll take farming, not me, but we will take farming to the next level in Australia. We'll become world leaders, which we need to be. We're actually behind the 8 ball because of this multi-generational, it's always been done that way kind of thing. And I see this always been done this way in business too often.
I think we hear it a lot.
Yeah.
Paul, I just want to thank you again for a fantastic session at Supply Chain Leaders Academy this morning. I know you and Mary are, the taxi's about to pull up to take you to the airport. So thank you again for coming along, and thank you for sharing some thoughts with some more people today.
Pleasure. Bye.